6, 7. If they're on charge check priority, they've got to be baiting, right? I'm just gonna call it. I've been calling it. I've got him by 1 dig so far. Let's see what happens. Well, that changes things a lot. Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well. Today I have another Great League Remix team, and this one's even better than the one I ran before. It still has the Shadow Empoleon, but this time I added 2 other Shadow Pokemon, Shadow Sableye and Shadow Gligar. And honestly, this team has been incredible for me. I've hit my season high in ELO over 3,400 this season, and then obviously making out to the leaderboard. So these are going to be 3 straight sets of me using this team, and you get to see kind of all the action and how I got there. If you don't have any of the shadows for these Pokemon, or you only have some over the other, you could still run the team, just the non-shadow variant. For the Sableye, it's probably better to honestly have Power Gem over Return, but if you already have one, maybe Return, and I don't want you to TM it off and not get it back on again. Definitely just run the Return variant, but if you have one that's non-shadow that has Power Gem, definitely worth using instead, because you have something to hit against the Carbink, which is pretty common in this meta. Before we get into the battles, I want to give a big shout out and thank you to all my patrons who've been supporting my content creation. If you'd like private one-on-one coaching, scrims against me, some of my league guides and strategies ahead of time, or even tune into my live stream battles, feel free to sign up through the Patreon link down below. The primary reason why I'm safe swapping Shadow Sableye is because it's a pretty strong safe swap in general, and even if you do run to Carbink, you have the neutral play of the Power Gem, and it could allow you to farm down with the Empoleon pretty easily. This person comes in with Annihilate. They throw Ice Punch, so I know they don't get to a Shadow Ball before I Shadow Call them down, so I leave with a ton of energy. And NG on Sableye is obviously pretty strong. And in comes the Mantine. I'm going to throw the Power Gem. You can see they actually have to shield it still. And another Power Gem comes through, which is going to do a sizable amount of damage. And as you can see right there, Empoleon does pretty well in that matchup. And then in comes a Ferrothorn. And so this is going to be kind of a weird one, because it does a decent amount of neutral damage to both the Gligar and the Empoleon, and they end up shielding. Arguably, I probably could have gone for the Aerial Ace. I ended up letting this go, which questionably might not be the best choice on my end. But that being said, let's see what we can do here. Yeah, and they're going to throw a Power Whip. And in comes the Mantine. I think at this point, my plan is to just go for the straight farm down. Let's see if we get it or not. Resistance Steel Wing, but still Shadow Empoleon is going to do quite a bit. And I remember this match very fondly. Can't get the move off. If you slow down, I was at least 1 bullet seed away, maybe 2. So I lost at least, 2 turns in that process. Very unfortunate. So, should have been a win, but it is what it is. You know, it happens to all of us. Sorry, my screen got kind of bright because I had a pop-up come up. But anyway, Dewgong in the lead. Obviously, really great to see in the lead because you avoid the Gligar matchup. And in comes the Annihilate, and I just come in with my Gligar. They actually have Ice Punch as well. Something to watch out for, especially if they get to that potential Ice Punch. I mean, some, I guess, might throw the Night Slash even if they don't have it. But in all likelihood, if they actually had Night Slash Shadow Punch, they'd probably build up to Shadow Ball instead first before throwing. But that's just at least based on what I've seen. Alright, I said it before. No one really baits to go straight dig, and I'm no exception to that rule, so I'm going to go for the bait. Allows me to get both Aerial Ace off, and really my whole point is to just whittle down this Empoleon till and draw its energy. Not really sure why they went Drill Peck in that situation. My ELO is pretty high at this point, so I assume the person I'm playing knows, but they end up throwing it on Charge Tech priority, which is a little unfortunate for my Sableye. That being said, if they just threw Hydro Cannon, I would have lost this. So we'll take the win there, but not really sure what happened. Maybe they just had a little brain fart moment. It happens to all of us. All right, Empoleon into Shadow Dragonite, pretty strong lead, and then they come in with the Cresselia. I'm going to shield up here. I could tank a Moonblast, but I just don't want to have to start shielding Grass Knot afterward, and I could really optimize off of this opponent and get a ton of value here. They end up shielding, and then we're just going to shield up again, mainly because they have a Dragonite in the back, so if they go shields down or I leave with a move, I pretty much guarantee that I get to pretty much take it out. All right, that being said, they do finally let it go, and I have almost 2 Foul Play ready, so I'm not really worried about farm down because I'll take it out before that happens. And as you can see, they're going to throw on good timing to take out my Sableye. And in comes the Ferrothorn, kind of a more neutral matchup like we saw before. But that being said, I might go for Aerial Ace this time. I don't know. Let's see if that's the play. No, I go straight for Dig again. I think I'm just worried that I won't get to another move. That being said, we're going to bring this pretty low at this point. Oh, yeah, I remember this match. So I didn't want to take it out all the way because I didn't want to give the Dragonite more farm. And now that... so that's why I purposely didn't throw. Because if Dragonite gets the superpower worth the energy, I pretty much lose. So, recognizing that I could tank a Power Whip too, if it need be, might just let it go. And another Mantine lead, fantastic for me. It's probably not the best play on my end to throw the Drill Peck and then dip. That's end up what I do. Yeah, that's what I end up doing. And this is not too bad. I am going to have to shield the Power Whip at this point. Oh no, I get to it before them. Okay. Well, I'll shield this next move because I think they're pretty close to it. We already saw how much damage that Sableye does to the Mantine, so even if I get a farm down, I have to spend another shield. Not the end of the world. But we get the full farm down. Fantastic. Really good news for me. I have a ton of energy on this thing, and yeah, this is going to do a lot of damage. We're going to see just how much. I think we saw it earlier, but they're going to shield up, so they're down all shields. And I have the alignment, which is really nice. And in comes the Annihilate. We're going to have to respect a potential Ice Punch. They end up not throwing their move. Yeah, I think they just could see it at this point too. All right. These are looking pretty good. Going against my friend and teammate Rock Haven. Kind of a more neutral lead, but we swap out those anyway just because, you know, I don't mind dealing with Empoleon, the Ferrothorn with Empoleon, but I prefer not to until later, until I have to. I'm gonna bait the Power Gem, and crazy enough, he doesn't shield. so yeah, we're gonna just go for another bait as well, so he doesn't get the full farm down. Forces his energy from the Alolan Ninetales, which is pretty nice. And yeah, probably could have gone for the full farm down, but this energy doesn't really go very far against Empoleon either way, so not really a huge difference. And then in comes my Gligar. Fantastic because now I have a pretty good matchup in the back end. He does actually have Ice Punch, which is a little bit more concerning for my Gligar in the long run. But let's see if we take out this Ferrothorn first. Yeah, I'm just going to go for the Aerial Ace. I assume he probably doesn't shield because he can't go shields down with the Annihilate in the back. I get to another Aerial Ace, which is quite nice. And yeah, I'm just going to stay in as long as I can. And then I just come in Empoleon. And, you know, if he spends his Shadow Ball energy there, then, you know, I just wing attack down. So we go 4-1. Technically could have been a 5-0 because of that first match. So we'll just say it's potentially 5-0. But, again, team was killing it for me. This is set number 2, right? All these sets are straight up in a row. Diggersby kind of don't really know what to do here. Looking back on it, I probably should have thrown a Hydro Cannon and then dipped. But instead, I just swapped straight away to Gligar. And this is very uncomfortable if they are indeed running Hyper Beam. Looks like they're not, though. So this is okay for me, I guess. They throw a Fire Punch. I'm going to throw the Dig on Charge Check Priority. Let's see what happens. And they end up shielding. So I think I let this go. And this gets a little funky. So I'm going to have to commit. Yeah, this is going to be a little bit weird. But I'm expecting there to be some type of fighter in the back. So I'm just going to shield up the Scorching Sands and then have something to throw at it. That's why I like Empoleon, because it has a lot of play against a lot of stuff in the meta for the most part. So even if I don't have Switch advantage, it's not the end of the world. And we have back-to-back Drill Peck. Fantastic for me. Now we can take it out, and I just need to do as much damage as Alolan Ninetales as I possibly can before the Sableye sees any of it, and we managed to get to Hydro Cannon. So no save by needed for this one, but recognizing my win condition after giving him a switch advantage was important. Giratina Origin. Not the best lead by any means. I have okay counters in the back, but honestly this thing has a ton of play into my team. We draw the Carbink, finally we see one, but this is exactly why we want the Power Gem and why the Shadow Sableye is pretty strong in this meta, even though it has counters to it, because it has something for most of its counters they could throw at. So yeah, we're really chipping down this Carbink. Unfortunately, we can't really win switch. I mean, because if I shield, they shield, and I get rock thrown down. So it's not great. They have another rock throw anyway, so I would have had to burn both shields and still don't gain switch, which is not really ideal. That being said, this is kind of a more neutral matchup, but this in the back end is not a neutral matchup. So at this point in time, I think my only win condition here is to go for the Steel Wing down. And I decided not to shield, but looking back on it, I probably should have shielded because there's no way I'm going to fast attack down this Giratina, and there's no way I get to 3 drill packs. That's my only win condition. And as you can see, my health, not enough. So slight misplay by me, but honestly, I don't know if I shielded there, if it would have made a difference, because I might just get the double ominous win and take me out anyway. So that being said, we face off against Pranav and his Mandibuzz. And a lead here, pretty good because I avoid the Sableye on it. I'm gonna shield up the Dark Pulse. It's gonna do a lot of damage. I might even try to catch a move. Okay, yeah, Shadow Ferrothorn and Ferrothorn in general is really annoying for this team. It has a lot of play into it. I think at this point I'm just very content on just letting this go. Maybe I get the drill peck off if it's Hydro Cannon. Ends up being crunch, so he goes straight for it. It's kind of tough. We'll see how we play around this. I can tank 1 Hydro Cannon, so I'm just gonna tank it and see what happens. I get the foul play off. I might draw a shield from this, which is not too bad. But again, this Ferrothorn is kind of a pain to take out. So I'm going to shield up. Probably throw before he gets to the next Hydro Cannon. I lose charge check priority. No. Okay. Great catch actually on the Mandibuzz. But that being said, that's the move we want to throw anyway. So not too bad. This Dark Pulse is definitely going to hurt. But at this point, I need to hope that there's like what? Maybe Annihilate in the back. That would be the hope, but that team would be super weak to fighters. Ends up being a Unova Stunfisk actually, which is very good news for me, all things considered. I do go for the dig, and let's see how we play this out. Ooh, okay, yeah. So unfortunately, gets sniped down by the Hydro Cannon, and I go for Shadow Call down. I somehow managed to get to this foul play on draw check priority. Kind of nuts. I did not think I would survive this, but Shadow Sableye putting in work and getting me some wins that I didn't think I would be able to get. Yeah, that looked pretty dire, honestly, from the midway point to the late game. It just looked really tough for me. But you know, stuff is definitely one of the few things that Gligar is going to really appreciate with low health and shields down. All right. A lot of times I see the Power Whip and dip. They're trying to chip and dip me, so usually it's not the worst case scenario to shield there. And then I shield with Ice Beam, which is really nice. I get a ton of energy here and hopefully a decent amount of value. Obviously, I go down both shields, but hopefully I can grab at least 1, maybe 2 shields here. That'd be really nice. They come back in with Ferrothorn, which is pretty nice because I should be able to get to 2 foul play before they get to a move. Yeah, I'm going to maximize my energy even more here just to leave as much as possible in case they no shield. They no shield. Okay. So I'm going to throw a foul play and see what happens. At this point in time, even though I'm down shields and they're up energy, I'm actually in a pretty good spot. Going to have to force them to shield twice, which is nice. I come in Empoleon. The only reason why I do this is because I force them to throw their dig energy. They're not going to throw aerials at this point, so they're going to spend a lot of energy. At this point now, I have my own Gligar, and we're in a good spot. I could tank 2 aerials, no problem. They're 1 aerial away from being knocked out, and they quit out right there. Yeah, so sometimes if you have the double shield in that safe swap scenario, it could definitely be worth it. Tapu Fini, and they swap out right away, so it's pretty nice for me. At this point too, this is not the best matchup because I could get baited or just taken out with a dig, but instead I come in with my own Shadow Gligar, and we actually win charge deck priority, which is super nice. I'm gonna let this go, and then I could probably go for the wing attack down at this point. Let's see what we do here. Honestly, this is okay even if they take me out because they clearly have okay, well, we're up a shield, so I feel pretty good. Let's see how they play this out. I come in Sableye, into the Tapu Fini, and I'm expecting there to be some type of Annihilate or something in the back, so I kind of want to draw all the shields if possible. Again, Power Gem is pretty nice in this scenario, a little bit cheaper than Return as well, and still doing quite a bit of neutral damage. And then now I come in with my Empoleon. I'm just going to no-shield this, see what happens. Could be a fighter, and it is. It's going to be a Poliwrath. So good thing I didn't shield there, because that just gives them more energy. I got the Foul Play ready, so we're good to go. And yeah, we still have a shield. So Tapu Fini can't really do too much. I just need to get to one more Foul Play, and they quit out. So again, another 4-1 set. Like I said, I mean, you know, I'm not even climbing through like the super low elo. I'm at the 3400s right now. So these are arguably against some of the best players in the world currently in Go Battle League and PP. Shout out Hippowdon. Definitely something I wasn't really anticipating, and they beat me with Weather Ball. Their timing on this stuff is super quick, and honestly, the sand attacks are not easy to count. So I end up swapping and potentially catching a move as well. Hopefully it's a Weather Ball. It ends up being Weather Ball, which is fantastic for me. And they come in with the Mantine. I should be able to survive one Aerial Ace, so hopefully I could get off a Power Gem. Yeah, I do. Oh, beautiful. Good Power Gem right here. I know sometimes people ask me for IVs and stuff. I just run the highest rank stuff I have in most situations, so I say otherwise. And all my shadow ranks are like decently high. They're not the best of the best, but I always offer the higher ones. So just run the best you can if you want. That's why I don't usually put IVs, or I never put IVs in my videos, just because it's not that they don't matter. It's more so I don't want people stressing over looking for a specific IV spread just to use a Pokemon. If it really does matter, I'll let you all know. But that's my take on it, at least. Yeah. I mean, if I put down, like, I don't know, I'm running a 2-8-12, right? What's that going to do for you if you don't have a 2-8-12 spread, right? You're just still going to use the best you can, right? Or feel like you can't run it because you don't have something like that. So, anyway, where are we at right now? They don't have a lot of, I don't have a lot of health left. They don't have a lot of health left either. We go for the Aerial Ace. Kind of lost track of where this match was because I was talking about IVs. But we get the Wayne Tech down, and we take out the Hippowdon. Close game, but managed to come out on top. All right, shout out Steelix. This one, I did not play this one very well. So they're running Thunder Fangs, which is something I started noticing later last week of this meta, and something people started catching up on. I think what I should have done in that situation is swap straight away, but I kind of did not do that. So I come in Gligar into an Empoleon. I should be able to survive an Aerial Ace, but I'm going to shield, just get some damage off. What I ideally want to do is put this Mantine in Steel Wing down territory. If I can Steel Wing it down, I get a lot of energy. So I'm going to let it go at this point, because everything into Steelix for the most part is fairly neutral. And unfortunately, I have to shield. So, not great. But ends up being the Water Pulse at least. I get the Hydro Cannon off, and I think they hard locked themselves in. So I should be able to take this out with the Sableye, but this is doing a lot of damage. And yeah, this is not looking like it's going to be the best of times, but we'll see what happens. Foul Play is neutral, but does finish off yeah, and they have a Geiger in the back. So nothing I could have done there at that point. By the end, I think I could have played the early game a lot better, and maybe made something happen there. Honestly, Safe Swap Sableye was pretty strong to that team, but my guess is he would have probably gone for Psychic Fangs and dipped, which very reasonable strategy for sure. But well played by my opponent, and we have a Goodra lead and a Safe Swap Frogate, which is not ideal, but they went straight for the Hydro Cannon, so I know I don't have the shield. It's not going to be a crunch. I'm going to throw a Drill Peck and swap over. I have a shield advantage. They pace pretty quickly, so and they win charge like priority, I think. So I'm going to shield up and then overfarm as much as I can and throw this Foul Play. If they no shield, then I could, or if they shield, I could just farm down even more. So this is kind of an interesting position to be in. Goodra is pretty bad. Not the best in Empoleon, but the health of my Empoleon is not amazing. So what do we do here? I think I come in Empoleon into this. Oh no, I actually came in Gligar because I was expecting I could Wing Attack down, and there was another Unova Sunfist in the back, and I'm not really sure what Unova Sunfist is mainly for. I guess a little bit of the Carbink and the Seals, but honestly speaking, I love seeing it, especially with the Gligar. Alright, we win Charge Attack priority against this Empoleon. There's always a chance to catch my next move, but that being said, I'm still probably just going to throw and see what happens, and they do catch. Did they catch it? No, they didn't. Okay, they went for the shield. I think I know shield as well. Maybe I swapped to Sableye at this point. Oh, I swapped to Gligar. Okay. That's a fine choice, I guess, too. I don't remember why I specifically did Gligar over Sableye in that situation, but that's okay. We get to this move. I'm going to shield because the problem is if I don't shield, I'm going to take a ton of Dragon Breath damage on my Sableye anyway. It's a little unfortunate it's not Charge Attack priority, so I don't get any Overfarm. But honestly, I don't know if I really want Overfarm because you just take a lot of damage in the process. Alright, that being said, we get a Cresselia coming out, which is okay-ish. They're getting a lot of energy, and then they try to go for a catch. Doesn't quite happen. But this is good because they come in with Empoleon. I forced some energy. They probably could have farmed me down, but maybe they're capped on energy at that point too. I get the dig off as well, which is pretty nice. They're probably going to go for the Psycho Cut down, and I have the Sableye. And this is why I know you can survive a Moonblast and Sableye, especially if you're running a high rank one, because I took one and I saw what happened. Alright, this is the last battle. I remember this very fondly. Remember, this is 3,400 ELO in the leaderboards. And this is what they decided to do. Stay in Shadow Charm Ninetales into Empoleon lead. Kind of wild, because they're running Carping in the back. 2 Pokemon double weak to Steel, and they run an ABA in this format. I don't know why, right? This is the 3400s. If you think you see weird degen strategies, a fast attack pressure, ABA stuff in only low ELO, trust me, it's everywhere. And this is a good example of why, yeah. I mean, maybe this worked for the opponent, climbing purposes, but honestly speaking, it was probably my easiest match of the day. And yeah, we're able to wrap it up with the Gligar as well. So there you go, another 4-1. That was a 4-1, 4-1, 4-1, probably a 5-0 on the first one if I didn't get that lag. But as you can see, going over 3,400, 3,441 where I landed after the set. And then as you saw from my leaderboard screenshot from earlier, I got up to 3,449, I believe, later that day. Team is really solid. Feel free to give it a shot, regardless of what ELO range you're in, whether you're pushing the leaderboards, trying to hit Legend for first time, Ace, Veteran, etc. Whatever it is, give it a shot and see how it goes. It is kind of a more expensive team, Triple Shadow, but like I said, you don't have to run Shadow if you don't have the option to or you don't have the resources to. But the Shadow is really fun to run. They do a lot of damage. It is a lot of dust and candy invested, but if you have it, you'll earn back a lot of that dust pretty quickly from just winning GBL. Anyway, thank you all for watching. If you like this video, feel free to give it a like and share, subscribe for future content, hit that notification bell to get alerted right when I post a new video, and I'll catch you all next time.